I know what you guys are thinking. I know you guys have seen the title. You're probably very confused as to what I'm thinking. You're probably very confused as to what I could have to say. You're probably wondering why I'm saying what I'm saying. You're probably going to wonder why the title is the way it is. Why the description is the way it is. And we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But first I want to give a few disclaimers before we can begin. First of all, hello everyone. Because I'm stupid, Logan. There's your answer. Because I'm fucking stupid. How's that sound? Plus, if I didn't get out what I'm going to try and get out, it was going to eat at me during state testing. So it was either this or fucking... Either way, state testing is... So... Yeah. I need to either get this off my chest and then have state testing suck, or don't get this off my chest and then have state testing suck. Either way, I'm fucked. But anyway, welcome everyone who is dropping by. Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for getting intrigued, because now I'm going to get a chance to explain myself. First of all, I want you guys to know that the thoughts I have during this video may or may not represent the thoughts I'm going to have a week from now, a month from now, hell, maybe even a few days from now. I'll have gotten over this. Right now, my mental state is about the same level of quality as a fucking dump. Just random objects lying around all over the place. No meaning, no purpose, just random trash that used to be of use to something. That's what my mind is akin to right now. All day today, there has been nothing, almost nothing, on my mind besides two things. School and that fucking twist. For those of you that are still here and that didn't see the title, I'd recommend you flee right now, because I'm going to spoil Steven Universe dirty. And if you don't get out within the next 10 seconds from when I start counting down, I'm sorry, but the entire show is going to be ruined for you. Are you ready? Here comes the countdown. All you that don't want to be spoiled, leave. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. The fact that rose quartz is pink diamond fucked me up. It wasn't apparent at first, because I had other things on my mind. And it's only taken me until today to realize just how much this changes the show. Just how much everything is different. Just how much the entire foundation for this show crumbles in on itself once you realize what this twist means. What this twist stands for. What this twist will mean in the grand series of this show. Guys, Steven Universe is destroying itself. This twist is the final nail in the coffin. And I'm afraid if we keep delving any further, the entire show, the entire point of this show's existence, everything this show has worked up to achieving, to telling, the entire story it's meant to be telling, it's all going to mean nothing. it's all going to implode on itself. Now, I'm going to mention plot points very sporadically throughout this episode, but it's not the plot points itself that I'm going to be focusing on. Oh my god, Ray. Oh, by the way, I completely forgot to mention this. Guys, if you're watching this and you can do this, I want you to do me a favor. Everyone who can, please try and find some way to record this video. Save it, download it, do whatever you gotta do. Because unlike the Future Vision video, unlike the pool hopping video, I do not want this video to be destroyed. I do not want this video to be imploded on itself because of YouTube and its stupid sound system or whatever it's got going on. The fact is, this video could very well quite possibly change the entire state of my channel. This video could mark the events that we as a community have to do moving forward from this twist. Because this twist, I'm not kidding, it changes everything about the show, about the Crooniverse, about Steven Universe channels everywhere, including mine. This quite literally changes everything. Not just the show itself. And well, I don't even know where to begin. How about we start off by saying that this was fueled by two very important individuals whose videos inspired me to start thinking more about what these events stand for. And these events, these people are a slice of otaku to a lesser extent, and most importantly, Awestruck Vox and his video on the round table, revealing quite a number of things that have happened to this plot because of this twist. Where should I begin? I don't even know where to start. Because frankly, I'm so conflicted, so shocked and torn through all this. My opinions on not only the show, but the Crooniverse are just all over the goddamn place. Exactly, Black Skull, and that's sort of how I feel. You thought Future Vision was bad? You want to know what kind of shit this opens up? Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Where do I start? Guys, it's very unlike me to do this, but I think you guys might need to give me some ideas on starting points. Because there's so much to talk about. I don't know. Courtney, there you go. Bravo. Give a clap to Courtney, because that's a very good point. That's pretty much encompassing everything about this topic, really. Before it happened in the state of this show. That's a good point too, and I think I'm going to start with that. Good man, Silver. Good man or girl. Gender. Good gender, person. Good gender. Good sexual preference. Yeah. There you go. Pearl. I'm not gonna start with her, but she's one of the main people. So let's start with the beginning. Before this twist started. Before the twist. Before all this just came crashing down. Before the doom began, let's say. There was a lot going for this show. A lot. You had a lot of different characters with a lot of different arcs, with a lot of different personalities, backstories. Hold on. Hair got stuck in my mouth. How does that even happen? Okay, that was weird. Anyway. Good gender. Anyway, I'm non-binary. Yay, equality. Okay, let's not get off track. Pretty much think of any character archetype, and Steven Universe would have it covered in spades and explore every single bit of it. That's what I've always liked about Steven Universe. Its way that it could depict these different archetypes and not only explore them, give their faults, their opposites, what they like and dislike. Just go into all this detail. It's absurd. Make them feel like real people that you can relate to. Even Ronaldo, in his obsessive, weird, sort of blog backstory thing, even that made him three-dimensional in a way I've rarely seen any show tackle. And if there's anything I can give Steven Universe credit for, it's the fact that it did that. Pre-twist, motivations. Everyone, everything felt like it had a reason for existing in this world, outside of, the main plot. Now, this twist doesn't really affect Beach City. It doesn't really affect the townies too much, except for Greg. He's a whole nother can of worms. And, well, it's like, it was really interesting, all the dynamics and everything, and how everything just sort of all tied together. Crush on Lapis, and so that's really like Naruto and Ruby, probably. And, well, then, as the saying goes, everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Now in a new twist world, everything's different. Everything's changed. Everything that we thought we once knew about these characters, with the exception of the town people, kablooey. Gone. And to think this all sparked because of Ronaldo. I'm not joking. If Ronaldo had not come knocking at Steven's door in the middle of the night and told him about his discovery on the moon, Steven would not have gotten the idea to question Pearl about shattering Rose, or shattering Pink Diamond. I guess it doesn't matter at this point. And we all wouldn't be here right now, would we? It was all Ronaldo. All Ronaldo. He changed everything. And now there's no going back. Alright, guys, here's what I want you to do. With the exception of Connie and all of the town people that aren't Greg, we're going to do this in a sort of vote fashion. I've got things for every single possible character, except for them. Go ahead. Throw your characters at me. Who do you want to see me talk about first? Throw your ideas. Throw your suggestions. We're going to do this in a voting fashion. We're going to eventually get to all of them. I said not town people, Ray. We got Steven, we got Peridot, we got all these people that don't matter. Lapis, Amethyst, or Garnet, Amethyst. Oh boy. Oh man. God. I'm seeing Lapis a lot. Jasper. I'm also seeing Steven a lot. Lapis and Steven, it's between those two. Let's see. Amethyst, Jasper, Pearl, Onion, Stricken. I'm seeing Amethyst a lot too. And Jasper. I'm seeing a big surge of Jasper, so I'm going to start with Jasper. Jasper. Ever since the beginning of this show, do you want to know the character that her character has been mainly revolved around? Rose Quartz. Everything's just been about Rose Quartz. Wanting to pound Rose Quartz into the ground, wanting to beat Rose Quartz, wanting to be better than Rose Quartz, the best around, the best quartz in general. Ever since we've seen her in the return, she's wanted to be the best. She's wanted to rise the ranks. All in revenge because her diamond got shattered. Pink diamond got shattered. She wanted revenge on Rose Quartz for shattering Pink Diamond. Now, I think you can see the problem here, but I'm also going to lay a basis groundwork just for every single character I'm about to lay down here. Pink Diamond manipulated everybody. That entire gem war, the entire basis for her being shattered, the consequences that came of the war and her being shattered, everything from the cluster to the corrupted gems to the entire turmoil that the crystal gems are going through. What Pearl basically is going through. We're going to just put Pearl as her own little subject. Homeworld's aggression towards Earth. The fact that the Earth was risking being destroyed constantly. Everything. It's all her fault. It's all on Pink Diamond. The trauma that these people are going through. The heartbreak. Especially Big Buff Cheeto Puff. Her. But I'm putting more all my sympathy towards Pearl. Pink Diamond orchestrated it all. The entire premise of this show. Everything, every single conceivable thing that this show could possibly live for was all orchestrated by Pink Diamond and Rose Quartz. If that's not a subversion of the perfect Mary Sue Rose Quartz, then I don't know what is. So with this in mind, with Jasper's entire purpose for existing, her wanting to beat down Rose Quartz for shattering Pink Diamond, the fact that Pink Diamond and Rose Quartz are the same person ruins her entire arc. Every single conceivable bit of her arc with Rose Quartz and avenging Pink Diamond is put into a paradox, put into a realm of void and uncertainty. All because Pink Diamond and Rose Quartz were revealed to be the same person. Jasper has no reason for existing in this show's canon now. She has no purpose. She floats for nothing. Her corruption was in vain. She is literally a void of a character now. All because of this. That's Jasper. The way the Crooniverse ended Jasper's arc is so fucking depressing that she is basically nothing in this plot. I'd say it's on a level. It's worse than the way Pearl got it. Jasper's actually a victim. I never thought I would say this. Jasper is a victim. Yeah, it was it was Trico, and we're gonna get back to that. Don't worry. But first of all, let's roll the character wheel again. Go on, guys. Shout your characters at me. I'll give you guys an explanation. A victim of bad writing. We're gonna get to that. You're gonna make me blow my load too early. We're gonna get to that. Give me characters. Lapis, Garnet, Lapis, Steven, Bismuth, Amethyst, Bismuth, Amethyst, Steven. I'm seeing a lot of Bismuth, Amethyst, Bismuth, Greg, Bismuth, Steven, Bismuth it is. I see you guys, please. We got Bismuth. Poor Bismuth. Poor Bismuth. You want to know what her character was about? She was dedicated to the cause of her rebellion. She wanted to fuck those diamonds in the ass with her breaking point. Just shoot them up to hell and back. She lived for the war. That was her purpose for existing. She lived to see the Crystal Gems cause out to the end. Until she reached a bitter end by none other than Rose Quartz, who, if you remember, disagreed with Rose's plight of not wanting to shatter the diamonds. Now, we don't really know what this was in place. I don't know what this was in place of when Pink Diamond was quote-unquote shattered. We don't know if that whole debacle happened before or after. I don't know. If you guys would inform me, that would be fantastic. But I don't know. But, as you guys know, from the episode and from what I've told you, the entire war, the entire fact of the rebellion, Rose Quartz / Pink Diamond basically played both sides of that war. She orchestrated the entire thing in a ploy to get the diamonds off of her back. That was the only reason that war was fought. So that she could get the diamonds off of her back. If Bismuth is coming back, now's a good time to do it. It wasn't even a war until she fake shattered herself. Everything about that war is one big giant lie. And Bismuth was dedicated to that lie until the very end. The very person she looked up to as a leader was actually her worst enemy in disguise. Can you imagine what that's like? Can you imagine? That's like if Barack Obama was actually Hitler in disguise. We're going to get to that, Ahmed. I'm telling you guys. We are going to get to your pleas. I'm telling you. I'm just going at this one at a time because I want it to sink into your guys' heads how much this changes everything. Connie fused with a diamond. Yes, indeed. We're going to get to that when we get to Steven. Obama was Osama bin Laden in disguise. That would be an interesting plot. Yes, it would. So Bismuth's entire existence for being a part of the Crystal Gems is a lie. She worked for the very person she was fighting against. And it's a good thing that at the very end her wits got to the good of her. While it may have been for conflicting reasons, she was right to rebel against Rose. As wrong as that seems, I'm going to have to rewatch Bismuth now. I'm going to have to probably rewatch this entire series with this new viewpoint. But that's Bismuth. So guys, you know the deal by now. Give me more characters. Would think you'd want this. I'd want this to send the series even more. We're getting to that, Trico. A lot of things you guys are saying. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to it. Garnet, Steven, Garnet, Lapis, Garnet, Lion, Steven, Greg, Garnet, Steven. I'm seeing Garnet a lot. Garnet, 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 Centipede, Topaz, Topaz. Garnet, Garnet, Garnet. Just 6 Garnets in a row. We're doing Garnet. You guys really want Garnet? You guys really want Garnet, don't you? We're doing Garnet. Alright. Here we go. Garnet, Garnet, Garnet. Poor Garnet. Oh man, poor Garnet. 58 people watching. So, I don't know if you guys remember this, but after we got done the episode, we got a little glimpse of what Garnet's breakdown is going to be like. She basically split up into Ruby and Sapphire soon after the events of what Pearl was retelling. Sapphire runs away, they break up, leaving Ruby alone with Steven, Pearl, and Amethyst. Sapphire's run away. She's gone. If we're talking Garnet as a whole, can you imagine what this is like? Pink Diamond is her main enemy on this colony. She is her only step towards being a free, independent fusion who is able to be the embodiment of love without question, without rejection, without societal disgust. Pink Diamond is her last step. Now, you can only imagine what it's like when you find out that the leader of the rebellion you're leading, the leader of this rebellion that's supposed to be against the very person you're supposed to oppose, imagine suddenly finding out in the span of 5 seconds that person, your leader, is the very person you're fighting against. Just let that sink in for a moment. You're fighting against your leader. Your leader is fighting against themselves. All because they just are using you. Rose used Garnet in this war just to get the diamonds off of her back. Garnet got played hard. Sapphire is taking that hard. I'm not going to even complain about something like Future Vision at a time like this. Because can you imagine? This is the only exception I'm going to make to the Future Vision rule. Invited me to chat? I'm fine for right now. This is one of the only exceptions I can make to the Future Vision rule. A future this dastardly, a future this unreasonable, this despicable. You wouldn't believe something like that. The entire past of just everything you've known about this leader, the way they took you in, the way you fought by their side for thousands of years, fighting against a common enemy. I didn't say no Greg, I just said no. I said no Connie and no town people except Greg. In fact, I'm going to do Greg next because you guys are calling for him. But just imagine all that gone in an instant. Instead of fighting a common cause, you're fighting with your enemy for their own ideals and beliefs. Can you imagine what Garnet is going through right now? Can you imagine what Sapphire is going through right now? Especially with her contempt towards Blue Diamond. Working with a diamond that she thought was their friend and getting played. Can you imagine? Greg. Time for Greg. Now, he's probably not going to hit as hard as the other people would, as he was kind of ignorant to this whole thing and just thought Rose was Rose and didn't really get into diamond business and all that. But Greg, poor Greg. Again, he's not as bad because all this eventually led to him, like, getting together with, like, someone, being able to be close to them, having a son because of them, experiencing love, you know, that sort of thing. And in my head, I like to believe that Pink Diamond actually did feel something for Greg. That the love she felt was actually real. I'd like to think that Rose Quartz is what Pink Diamond is. I'd like to think that. But that still doesn't change the fact that Greg got played hard. The person you think you love. The person that you put your entire effort towards being with. Towards putting your mutual feelings towards. Imagine that they don't exist, and instead they're replaced with a power despicable enough to play thousands. A person despicable enough to start a rebellion, a war, orchestrate an entire thing just to get intergalactic powers off your back. That's Greg. That's Greg getting played by Pink Diamond hard. That would shatter a man. No pun intended. That would destroy someone on the inside who doesn't exist. He fell in love with an alter ego to a power so despicable it's beyond even words. It's unimaginable how many people Pink Diamond played. That's Greg. It's not as much, but it still hits hard. And it's oversimplifying. Really now. What would be the reason then? Oh, it's because she loved the planet. It's because she wanted to be alone to herself on the planet and experience it with the crystal gems. Here's what you do. Fight back against the fucking diamonds. Don't run away from them. She had to have known. Oh, she's just a child. Oh, there's no way. She's just a child put in the position of a leader. Oh, there's no way she could have done. A child orchestrates a war. A child orchestrates a full-scale, 1,000-year-long gem war. And you're trying to say it's a child unable to be in the position. If you're a child in that position, do you really think you would have the wits, the firepower, the forethought, the strategy to orchestrate something as complicated as what was just pulled? She pulled both sides of a full-scale gem war. She played both Pink Diamond and the leader of the rebellion, Rose Quartz. She played both sides. She played chess with herself for thousands of years. Thousands of years. How does a child do that with such finessement, with such etiquette? So carefully planned and so orchestrated so well that no one is any of the wiser until thousands of years after the war ended. Do you really expect a child would be able to do that? Or just childlike would be able to pull that off? Do you really think someone who's that ignorant to their position of power, who doesn't know what they're doing, quote unquote, would be able to pull off both sides of a war so carefully that no one finds out until your own Pearl spoils it years later? Thousands of years later. No. You can't, that's not something an ignorant person does. Next character, please. I think I've made my point. So that puts that fact to bed. Amethyst, Steven. I'm not going to do the off colors, because the off colors I don't think are too affected by this. Although they do kind of have rose quartz. I'll go over them briefly. They do have rose quartz to blame for the position they're in now. Kind of. In a very outside meta sense. The only thing that we've really heard that they know about rose quartz is that they heard through the Windworks that she shattered a diamond. That's really all they knew, and frankly, I don't think that's important enough to the main lore to really be substantiated. Next character, please. Amethyst, Amethyst, Blue Diamond, Amethyst. Already did Garnet. Steven. Blue Diamond, Amethyst, Amethyst. Already did Jasper. Steven. Amethyst, Steven. It's just between Amethyst and Steven, it looks like. Steven, Stefano. My mom. Okay. Steven. Amethyst. I'm very sorry, but it looks like Steven is starting to... Oh, wait, no, we're getting more Amethyst. Amethyst. It looks like we're about neck and neck. Concrete. Amethyst, Steven, Amethyst, Blue Diamond, Amethyst, Concrete, Aquamarine, Steven, Amethyst, Steven, Amethyst, we're neck and neck, Steven, Amethyst wins. Okay. Now, Amethyst is a bit more of an interesting one. Her backstory is a bit more complicated. It's not about... Not in the we know too much sense. More in the we haven't had as much time to let their relationship bruise sense. Let it sit sense. We haven't had time to let it simmer and let it sink into the audience sense. But from what I can pick up, personally, to me, it's heartbreaking. Because here's what happened, right? Let me go over the backstory of Amethyst and Rose real quick. Once upon a time, Amethyst was alone in the kindergarten. She came out late. She was overcooked, you could say. And she spent thousands of years. Implied thousands of years. Maybe it was more towards hundreds, but I don't know the exact date. Uncle Grandpa. Oh, can you imagine? Anyway. Yada yada, long time ago, 1,000 years, Amethyst alone. Rose Quartz discovers her. And over the course of the next thousands and thousands and thousands of years, she slowly warms up Amethyst to the idea of thinking she's perfect just the way she is. Telling Amethyst she's enough for the crystal gems. She's worth something. Years later, after Rose is gone, and Amethyst and Greg are in the garage place watching Lil Butler, she goes off on the topic of Rose and how she lost her time with Rose when she started spending time with Greg. She felt genuinely heartbroken over that fact, that Rose stopped spending time with her because of Greg. Now she may not have been as well versed with Pink Diamond as the other gems have been. And I have a feeling that Amethyst, much like in most situations, may not be as much affected to this Pink Diamond revelation as Garnet would, and as especially Pearl would. I may have got that mixed up, but we're going to get to Pearl right after we get to Steven. And then I'm going to wrap up and then start giving my thoughts on the Meta-Cruniverse state itself. That's the part where I'm so conflicted, but I'm getting ahead of myself. That's gotta hurt. I mean, you're told, basically, by most of the crystal gems that Pink Diamond is your enemy. Even by sort of. I don't know if they kind of came out after Pink Diamond was shattered, so I think it might be that. But just imagine your role model, the person you look up to, the person that you just saved you in a way, saved you from eternal loneliness, saved you from absolute shit, you know? Imagine that role model doesn't exist, and instead it's merely just the alter ego, the personality of a bigger being whose purposes are so malicious that, it just, that hurts. Now, it may look like I'm skimming over Amethyst. It really would. That's because I'm genuinely interested where the Cruniverse is going to go with Amethyst's side of things. Because she hasn't really had as much of a, I wouldn't say relationship with Pink Diamond, more of a knowledge of what Pink Diamond is like. So, who knows what's going to happen. That's the one I'm most conflicted on. So, alright, we're going to go to Steven next, and then we're going to go to Pearl, because Pearl is the main one. Pearl is the main source of what I want to talk about. But Steven's is a close second, because, oh man, this boy. You know, I still kind of hate Steven's character, just from the way the Cruniverse created him. Yeah, he's supposed to be a comedic foil. Yeah, he's supposed to be comedy relief or whatever, for, like, the bigger, serious stuff that's supposed to be going on. We're supposed to be discovering this world along with Steven. But I'm sorry, but Steven's just too annoying for my tastes. Too immature, at least in the earlier stages. He's a lot, I'll give you this, he's a lot better now than he was before. But he's still just kind of, yeah. He doesn't quite ask the questions I would normally be asking in a situation like this. I've noticed people point that out. He doesn't really ask the right questions. He lets the wrong things fly under his radar. And when he does go investigate things and check it out, he does it in such a stupid, in such a really just half-brained manner that it gets people hurt, like the zoo arc. But the fact of the matter is, I may not like Steven's character, but the shit that he has had to go through his entire life because of Pink Diamond, you guys have got to understand now. That ain't no rose quartz gem in his belly button. That's a diamond in his belly button. That ain't no rose quartz gem in there. His entire 14-year-old life, I'm going to say 14 now. His entire 14-year-old life, he's been led to believe that his mother is something he isn't. His entire life, he has been led to believe that his mother has been a figure of perfection, a figure of justice and good doing, supposed to be leading this group of gems towards independence and being themselves and going against the mold. That's what he thought his mother was been for 14 years of his life. But instead, in quite possibly the most heartbreaking way possible, in the most betrayed way possible, in the most traumatic and shocking way possible, he found out the truth that in reality his mother, the person he's supposed to, one of the people he's supposed to look up to most in his life, is one of the enemies he should very well fear as one of the main enemies of the crystal gems. A diamond. I still can't get over this. His mom is a diamond. Do you guys know the AU? An alternate universe called Steven Diamond or something? It's an alternate universe where Steven grew up under homeworld rule. His ideals have been shifted to that of wanting to destroy Earth. We are Steven Diamond now, except with reversed ideals. We are living that AU now. Steven's mom is a diamond. Can you believe this? But all of half of season 3 and all of season 4, Steven has been drilling it into his head that his mom had done something terrible, that rose quartz had shattered Pink Diamond, and had done something that she had to do in order to progress this moral, this story, that she had to in order to get to the end goal. He's had to come to grips with a problem that didn't even exist. He spent possibly hundreds, if not thousands of hours of his time trying to come to grips with a traumatic event that didn't even happen. His entire purpose for questioning his mom, which doesn't even exist, by the way. He literally has a mom that doesn't even exist. I'd say Steven got it the worst. Can you even imagine your mother figure that you've looked up to your entire life not existing? The mother figure he thought of, that person that he was twisted and maybe not manipulated, but the crystal gems were more manipulated into believing it, and then the crystal gems passed that belief to him. That image of his mother that he thought just wasn't. It was bad enough when he thought that she shattered a diamond. That was bad enough, because the image of before had been warped. But now it's a warp within a warp. It's like the person he thought she was is the exact opposite of who she actually was. Can you imagine that? Your mother is actually the enemy you're supposed to be fighting against? Like, Jesus Christ. Poor Steven. Poor Steven, man. I think he got it the worst. But that's obvious. That's honestly close to the last person, because, oh my God, nothing compares to what Pearl went through. let's start off with the obvious fact. And I'm going to put some blame on her for this. For her entire life since this happened, through everything, through every single possible conceivable episode of Steven Universe that you can think of, even say Uncle, she has known about this. She has known that Rose Quartz was Pink Diamond this entire time. It really makes you question everything that you knew about this show, and especially about Pearl. The fact that she knew everything. And I'm going to give myself minus points for doing this, but I didn't know. Pearl's struggles, especially in Rose's Scabbard, and especially in Sworn to the Sword, although in Sworn to the Sword it still doesn't justify what she did to Connie, but it's more amplified now. It is 100 times worse and Awestruck Fox went into this. It is even more heartbreaking when you realize the torment that she went through. When you get the context that Rose is also Pink Diamond. Keep in mind she was Pink Diamond's Pearl. That's more than just a random pearl being assigned to a Rose Quartz. That's her diamond that you're talking here. That is her Pearl's own personal diamond. That's her diamond's own personal pearl. Can you imagine the bond they grew? What they had together? Every little inch of love that she had for Rose is amplified tenfold when she figures this out. Which makes the fact that Greg entered Rose's life hurt even more. It makes her songs hurt more. It makes her backstory hurt more. It makes her dying relationship with Rose hurt more. The fact that she ditched Pearl and got with Greg and possibly tens of other different humans, that fact hurts 100-fold now that we know that she was not only a Rose Quartz, but she was also Pink Diamond herself. How she was forced to accept that her diamond was going to leave. Yeah. Her diamond was going to leave her forever to have Steven. And I forgot to mention this when I was talking about Steven too. Damn it. Pink Diamond basically passed all of her problems, all of her troubles, all of her issues that she had, all over to Steven. Despicable, exactly. She passed every little conceivable thing that she had on her consciousness. Every trouble, every unresolved relationship, trouble, literally all the problems that she had, she forced onto Steven as a young baby. The corrupted gem problem that she herself caused, passed that on to Steven. The cluster problem that she herself caused, passed that on to Steven. Literally everything in this show was caused by her, and she passed it on to Steven. Also passing on the knowledge that also passing on some big myth, some big rumor that she was shattered by her alter ego, making everyone's pain hurt even more. She created this big murder story that she was murdered by her alter ego to inject despair, to inject anguish into everybody, to put Homeworld in their sights, to make Homeworld corrupt their planet, for Homeworld to put a literal million billion gem fusion into the Earth that would destroy it. Now, granted, she may not have known any of this. But why would she do this if that was a risk? Let's keep in mind the argument I just made earlier. She is smart enough to have fought she is smart enough to have fought both sides of a war. To play chess with both sides, with the crystal gems being none the wiser as to her true identity. She tricked everybody. So who's to say that she wouldn't be smart enough to think about the consequences of what these actions could permit? How could she not know that? The zoo, she created the zoo because she knew the Earth was doomed. So she sent some select humans off so that they would be able to live their lives in peace if the Earth got destroyed. It was a backup to preserve human life. So if that's the case, then she knew. She had the idea that the Earth would be destroyed, yet she went through with her shattering plan anyway. She had to have known. She had to have known. You may need to send me that tweet, Batman, because I'm probably going to need to take a look at it. Especially with the point I got coming up. But anyway, I got off track. Pearl. I mean, I pretty much said all I had to say with Pearl. But can you just imagine being sworn to secrecy from your diamond? To not tell anyone about this? And then for years being led on and on, only to be heartbroken and dejected by a human. And then losing the only person you loved, losing your diamond to said human. The torment she went through, now with the added context of it being her diamond. Guys, all of these, I know I forgot Lapis, but honestly, Lapis is a more open and shut case. All that happened with Lapis is that she got caught up in the very war that Pink Diamond Rose Quartz herself started. That she got put in the mirror all because of Pink Diamond. She got trapped for thousands of years in that mirror all because of Pink Diamond and her selfish need for starting a war and her lack of thinking ahead. Now, all these different plot points, you may notice they all share a theme. They end with this Pink Diamond twist. Either that, or pre-established facts that we know have now been altered through Pink Diamond. And I'd like to argue that that the twist that this has made, all the changes that this twist now offers, the plot that we once knew as Steven Universe has been destroyed, with very small hope of it ever being recovered back to the way it was. And yes, I'd like to argue that this is for the worst, that this is making the show worse off for it. Just think of any kind of story, any, that would destroy every little bit of their earlier plot for the sake of a character that's just, ugh. Morty, we have to go back. We gotta go back, Morty. For Marty. Morty. Well, Steven Universe fans, unlearn 90% of what you know. Exactly. Let's start off with how this twist was introduced. Guys, when did we start hearing murmurs of Pink Diamond? Can you give me your best guesses? Like, I'm not going to count season 1, because we may have had foreshadowing that something like this was going to happen, but we didn't hear actual concrete drops of Pink Diamond's existence. I want to say until about a little ways into season 3. Season 3. Season 2 or 3. It was first mentioned in season 3, Back to the Moon. I think it was earlier than that, but okay. Season 3, Moonbase. It was before the Moonbase. If we're talking about the Back to the Moon where the rubies were, it was before then. Because if you remember in the episode before Earthlings, Jasper said, "My diamond, your diamond, Pink Diamond." Alright, so let's make it, let's see. Pink Diamond starts to get brought up. Earthlings. Yeah, Earthlings. Near the end of season 3. Just about there. Maybe there was murmurs earlier. I don't remember ever hearing about a Pink Diamond earlier. I think the first mention we had of Pink Diamond was when Jasper happened. Or maybe it was season 2 with the whole Moonbase thing. Maybe. Foreshadowed the cluster. I'm not really counting foreshadowing. I'm talking about when it was officially stated and talked about. I'm going to play it safe, and I'm going to go Earthlings. So, I'm going to do a count here. What did we have? What episodes did we have left at that point? We had Back to the Moon, we had Bubbled, and then we just had Kindergarten. So that was Monday, August... August what? I don't remember. It was sometime in the middle of August. 2016. How long has Steven Universe been running? About 5 years. So let's say about half the running time. I'm being generous with this because, of course, it hasn't been 2 years exactly yet. I'd say it's been more along the lines of a year and 3/4, let's say. That's how much time we've had to get development on Pink Diamond now. Beyond just murmurs, beyond just mere speculation by the gems, despite, just fact that, okay, Rose shattered Pink Diamond. When did we get to first see a glimpse of what Pink Diamond's personality was like? What she herself was like? I'm proposing Jungle Moon, which, if you'll remember, was that in January or was that in March? Which one was that, guys? Was that January or March? You guys are saying January. So January of 2018 is when we first got a glimpse of Pink Diamond. That's a pretty big gap, wouldn't you say? We first got rumors of her existence since August of 2016. And then we finally got a glimpse of what her character was like. Literally a year and 5 months later. So already we're that's 4 months between January and now that we got some kind of development of her character, some kind of idea of what her character was like. And now I want you to keep a note of what her character was like. She was bratty. She was moody. She was like an angry teenager. I want my own planet. I want my own colony. I want my own people. Whatever she was saying, she was a moody brat. Now, when's the next time we get a glimpse of Pink Diamond's character? When do you think? Since Jungle Moon. No, come on. Give me your guesses. When do you think's the next time we see Pink Diamond's character? Herself, in the flesh, her personality. God, give me your guesses. I want my own army. I want my own planet. There you go. Yesterday, right now, 3 months, this episode, it was a single pale rose. Ding, ding, ding. Good job, guys. Round of applause. The next time we get to see Pink Diamond's character past Jungle Moon was actually yesterday. Now, of course, we could say a single pale rose. I would count Can't Go Back, but we don't really get to hear a line from her. Do you want to know what her personality is like? Just months after we first see what her personality is like. At the snap of a finger. Now, I get that probably 1,000 years or so have passed since she first got the colony. I get that the time may have progressed and may have gone past. But that's still no excuse for what the Crooniverse pulled and what they had in store for us next. What the Crooniverse have in store for us next? We're going to suddenly jump ahead. And instead of giving time to properly develop the character past the bratty, moody, absolutely selfish and incessant self that she was in, we're going to skip the development. We're going to skip past all the good bits of what Pink Diamond was going to become. We're going to jump straight to the point where Pink Diamond is basically Rose, shatters, in quotations, herself, and just changes her entire personality. It's rushed. It's the pure textbook definition of rushed. What about Your Mother and Mine? That was more a flashback. We don't get to hear Pink Diamond's words herself. It is the pure textbook definitions of rushing a story. And I feel like this is what kills. This is the root of what kills the last part, the plot of Steven Universe. We have not had time to properly develop Pink Diamond, her relationship with all these different people. Even if she didn't reveal that she was Rose, we could have gone into something with Jasper. We could have gone into her encounters with the other crystal gems. Practically anything that would have given anyone any motivation for anything related to Pink Diamond, we could have had as some form of development. Right? But we don't get any of that. So now, because of this lack of development, because of this lack of decent closure between any of these different characters, because of just a lack of apparently caring by the Crooniverse, just wanting to just disregard basic character development rules and just wanting to jump straight ahead to the big reveal that Rose is actually Pink Diamond. Oh my god. They've torn open hundreds of holes in their past plot. They've torn open empty voids that were supposed to be filled with character development. Jasper dedicated her whole life to Pink Diamond. Are we going to forget about that? That the entire reason that story is so unfulfilled, the entire reason that story holds no meaning, that entire reason that Jasper's backstory is empty calories to the plot of Steven Universe now is because we never got any proper development between her relationship between her and Pink Diamond. We know she's resentful of Rose because she shattered her diamond. We know she's resentful of everything about what Rose did to her diamond. What we don't know is why. What kind of relationship did her and her diamond have that made her this resentful? And now guess what? We're not going to know that now unless the Crooniverse goes into more detail. And I'm going to say this now. Yes, there is a chance that all of my problems could be resolved. Yes, there is a chance that the Crooniverse could continue to develop Pink Diamond even after this. However, I highly doubt it. Because with the way this story looks like it's going to be going, it looks like instead of trying to go back and mend the holes that they've created, the Crooniverse is instead going to focus on the characters' reactions to this new information. How everyone feels about all this. And while this could lead to flashbacks, if Jasper comes back, this could lead to something related to that. And while this new plot would certainly be interesting, and I'd like to see a little bit come from it, I still think it's going to be overall detrimental to the entire show as a whole. Because we're talking almost every single main character who's been touched by either Pink Diamond or Rose Quartz, whose arcs are just going to be either unresolved or have a very, very nasty aftertaste. Just because of what Pink Rose Quartz is thought of as now. I don't know if I'm convincing any of you guys, and frankly, I don't want to force to convince you, you know what I mean? All I'm saying to this is I'm saying my viewpoint. It's probably going to make up 1/10 of what this entire stream is going to be. But because of a lack of decent character development between Pink Diamond, Rose Quartz went from an interesting, developed, motivational character into just being a puppet for a less interesting, less developed, less motivated husk of a character that we have yet to be properly introduced to. Because the Pink Diamond in Jungle Moon and the Pink Diamond in A Single Pale Rose are two completely different people with nothing to fill in the gap in between. And that is why I think the plot for Steven Universe is destroyed. We have nothing now. The Crooniverse has created a plot that is literally a void of information. A void. They went from having characters be motivated by a character like that to having the character transform into something that makes the stories and motivations incomplete, bitter, all wrong. Everything is wrong now. Nothing is complete anymore. The cycle is broken. All because of this dumb twist. Batman, are you still there? You mentioned the Crooniverse had this big old Google Doc that was just basically planning for this whole twist since the very beginning. I'd like to see that doc, if you don't mind. Because obviously they must have been having their thumbs up their asses for 5 years or something. Because if what we have now is supposed to be indicative of five years of pre-plot planning, then I'm sorry. But that's not good. That's not a mark of good story. I'm sorry if I'm going to trigger you guys by saying this. And please keep in mind that this is just my opinion. But if this is indicative of 5 years of pre-planning, possibly even more, of building up to this big reveal that's supposed to have all these plot points tie together and make sense, then I'm sorry, but they did a terrible job. Terrible. Tisk tisk, Crewniverse. Tisk tisk. That's my thoughts. That's basically all I had to say. Tisk, tisk, tisk. And now do you want to know something? Now that's the main point. Doesn't allow links. Well, just tell me what it's called. I'll Google it and look at it off stream. This is going to affect YouTubers too. Because now with this dead and defunct plot, where do we go from here? This is a serious question. With Pink Diamond's reveal, where do we go from here that isn't White Diamond related? I mean, yeah, there could still be minor things about the characters. Yeah, there could still be a lot. There could be other shit, like different relationships and all that. But I think that Steven Universe climaxed too early, if we're going to put it in that term. Because now where do we even go from here? More importantly to me, where do I go from here? Let's keep in mind that I run an Everything Wrong With series. With this new Pink Diamond twist, everything's going to be contorted now. I can guarantee you that almost every single episode of Steven Universe will now be negatively impacted because of this twist. Something is going to now be wrong because this twist happened. Or retcon, or something. I'm not going to be able to mention certain story arcs without bringing up this twist. Especially when we get to Jasper's arc. Because that arc is useless now. It has no point for existing. I don't know, guys. At this point, the Crewniverse has written us into such a huge rut that there's no climbing out. Yeah, they wrote themselves into a corner, alright. A corner that I doubt they'd be able to write themselves out of without some dumb ex machina. I'm still a fan of the show. Don't get me wrong. But how much I like it, I'm questioning still. Because, sweet Jesus, it just debunks so much. It just changes so much. makes so much pointless, destroys and implodes so much of the plot that it's not even fucking funny anymore. This isn't even worthy of a pity chuckle. Five years of work on this show. In one move. In one dumb, unthought out, unplanned move. It was all just destroyed. They knew what they were doing. That's another point. They had to have known what they were doing. In their entire 5 years of writing, storyboarding, animating, everything that they were doing with this show, it didn't once cross their head that doing what they were doing now would destroy everything that they've worked up to. And unless they have some way to patch it up, unless they have some way to put duct tape over the whole thing, I'm sorry. This is going to destroy the entire show. Season 5 is that duct tape. Pink Diamond was able to keep... Well, that's a good point. I'm talking mainly before she got poofed. They're not gonna fix it. After an event like this, do you really think they're gonna be able to fix something like this? You guys are still recording, right? Yeah, just take the Steven Universe plot, slap some flex tape on it. Yeah. Be the best plot you ever seen. How about the Crewniverse put some flex tape over the person who thought this was a good idea? How about they just take that person and coat them in Flex Seal? Oh no, I do everything wrong with videos on Steven Universe. Oh man, the Tumblr fans, oh, there's nothing wrong. Oh, it's just a kid's show, you can't criticize it. Oh, you're being too unreasonable. Oh, you, Supersonic, you suck. How dare you defile Steven Universe like this? Well, guess what? Guess who's laughing now? Now that the plot that I'm so carefully and meticulously criticizing is destroyed with no means of getting it back. Now who's laughing? 'Cause I'm certainly not. My means of a main series is destroyed. Because of this one point, because the Crewniverse doesn't know how to write a plot. God almighty. It gives me more to talk about, yes. It gives me another topic to discuss. But it's gonna make me a broken record. I think I've said pretty much all I want to say. All in all, this show is imploded. The Crooniverse imploded the show. With the plot twist they employed, and with the holes that it now blows open, there's no going back. The episode name was right. There is no going back from this. And while that's definitely has its positives, the negatives far outweigh them. Like, God, I can even imagine, like, I can't even count on both my hands and both my feet how many holes this opens up in season 1 alone. This sucks. This really sucks. Oh, do you remember the reaction yesterday when my description is, hope you like praying that the Crooniverse doesn't fuck it up? Oh man, you thought they couldn't fuck it up any worse? Oh man. Oh boy, you ain't seen nothing yet. What's next? The Crooniverse is just going to completely destroy the show's entire reason and point for existing? Is that what's going to be next? Is that the next logical step up from basically making your plots about as consistent and smooth as Swiss cheese? I miss seasons 2 and 3. Yeah, season 3, we didn't have to worry about this shit. I miss that. I miss those days. God, fuck. I'm gonna have to make some kind of video about this. I mean, I'm not gonna be able to let this go. God damn. I wonder how many people dislike this. Season 3 was just the best time for a balance between plot and town episodes, in my opinion. Season 3, I think, is my favorite season of Steven Universe, mainly just because it just felt right. It wasn't any of this touch and go plot bullshit. It was just plain old simple fun. We were still getting introduced to the world. God damn it. Damn it. The Crooniverse knew what they were doing. They have to know what they've just done. I'm not gonna give up an 100% hope yet. Not yet. Because the Crooniverse has to know what they've done, right? They can't just put down this reveal and then just continue on like nothing happened and not even address the gaping holes they've just opened up. They have to be aware of what they just did, right? I say let's wait, yeah. This is just... This is what I said at the beginning. I might not agree with this video a month or two from now. We probably should wait to get conclusive information until even if, for to be completely safe, after the series itself ends. You know what I mean? They could completely recover from this somehow. If they're doing a season 6 and possibly a season 7, if they go to a season 7, they could very well recover from this. All we can do is hope. But right now, after what we just experienced, after the twist that they just went through, after how much this has changed, and how much of a sour taste this has left in my mouth now, simply because all of these character arcs are just ruined now, I don't know if I'm not gonna see Steven Universe the same way again. And as a result, I'm not going to see Steven Universe the same way when I'm doing everything wrong with videos again. I'm scared I'm going to be more harsh on it. Because this fucking sucks. The entire show is a lie now. I hope you're aware of that. Pink Diamond manipulated everything about this show. This whole show is a lie. How could all this be recovered? The Crewniverse does a cleanup, basically. Tries to patch up all the holes that this left behind and make it feel somewhat conclusive. Why? She led to events such as Steven sacrificing himself to Homeworld. Worth nothing. That's something else. All these big moments that the show has had. Steven sacrificing himself. Any sort of big character development that happened. Big events. Greg being kidnapped to the human zoo. To a lesser extent. A very big lesser extent. It meant nothing. Nothing! I can't look at the Wanted arc the same way now. Because Steven sacrificed himself for nothing! No reason! Steven sacrificed himself for a cause that was just completely made up. Unbelievable. I can't believe this. I cannot believe this. I'm gonna have to head out because I need to seriously sleep. Because state testing tomorrow. But just keep this in mind. Everything that this episode just gave to us, everything that we've worked up to this point in the series, this twist destroys almost all of it. What's left, guys? Where do we go from here? What's left? This is just a dumb twist. I'm 16, Cosmic. I'm gonna be 17 in like 5 months, so... God, nothing's gonna be the same. Yeah, Cosmic. Pretty smart for my age, huh? October 14th, Saphira. Look at the end of my username. Only felt like a month ago when I was playing Super Mario 64, huh? But yeah, I love Steven Universe. But this just hurts to see. The plot that we've cared so much about has just been wiped clean because of this stupid, incessant twist that just seemed like pandering to a fan theory. And I know that's not what happened because this has been building up for the past 5 years, but that's what it sure feels like. It makes so little sense that it destroys what was left of the plot. Alright. I'm gonna head out now. I've said my piece and I don't want to keep you guys for too much longer. There you go. Steven Universe is over, party. GG. Where are we gonna go from here, guys? I guess we have to wait until summer to find out. But I'm just saying that everything wrong with Steven Universe is no longer going to feel the same. It just isn't. This is going to have negative precautions on how I write my sins as well. It's just not going to feel good. I'm not going to be able to look at this show the same way. The plot that it's developed, the characters that it's got me invested in, the memorable moments have just all been tainted by this dumb twist. The structure's ruined. How are we going to move on from this? I guess we'll figure it out. But anyway, this has been Supersonic 1014. I hope you guys understood my plight and how things are going to definitely be harder for me later on. Hopefully we'll get some more conclusive answers during the summer. At least I hope to God we. This has been Supersonic 1014. I'll see you guys later. Hopefully this gets resolved. I gotta go now. I'll see you guys. Bye.